Let's meet our panel. He is the man behind Talk Radio's Neal Boortz Show and the author of the book, The Terrible Truth About Liberals. Neal Boortz. Neal, where are you? Thank you.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good to see you, boss.
Okay, the band is Disturbed. The CD is The Sickness. The national tour starts March 16th, and the lead singer is David Draiman. David. Hey, how you doing?
Good, how about yourself?
Wow, everybody's got something. After 15 consecutive years on television, she is now one of the lovesick stars of For Your Love, Sundays at 8:30 on another network. Holly Robinson Peete. Hello, Mrs. Peete. How you doing? And an Oscar-nominated actress with 2 Golden Globes. Her film Lady and the Tramp 2 is now on video, and her pizza is delicious. Cathy Moriarty Gentile. Cathy. Hey, honey. Thank you. All right. Well, welcome, panel. I have a quick question for you and the audience tonight. How many have had gay sex at a highway rest stop? Right there. So there's a guy who's willing to admit it. I don't need a personal story. Thank you. I bring this up because it's fun. No, I bring this up because apparently it is not uncommon. That is a place where gays go and have sex.
You mean the rest stops where you stop to get fast food if you're doing a road trip?
These would be the ones that say designated rest stop for people that are traveling.
Right.
Need
Next
to rest.
stop, 2 miles. Those.
Right.
Those.
That's
yes.
the one.
Okay, just clarify.
They're designated for rest, not for gay sex, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
I'm on the road all the time, and I've been to a lot of rest stops, and I have to say, I have never walked into one and seen gay sex occurring at a rest stop.
Because
it's probably not that
they
common.
do it in the weeds.
Well, there you go.
No, I'm serious. They meet there. And then they go off a little bit to the side, and you probably just go and do your business and leave.
Well, then they're not going to be bothering us, are they?
Well, here's the deal. There was a guy who was apparently doing this so much that he was banned from the highway rest stops on Old Cape Cod.
Banned from the bathroom.
If you're fond of sand dunes and the salty air and anything else salty, he was there. People love the old classic tunes, don't they? Anyway, the Massachusetts State Police apparently has an image problem with the gay community because this guy and the GLAAD, the Gay Lesbian Alliance something, they brought a lawsuit, and now the Massachusetts State Police are banned from rousting people from having sex in the weeds. And, you know, it just seems to me that what used to be rights in this country, rights used to refer to something inalienable like life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and now rights is, hey, I want to get in the weeds.
First of all, the topic is absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, I mean, it's a designated rest area. It's designated for a certain thing. And I'm a new mother. And I can guarantee you I'm not going to be sending my children into bathrooms where I think things like this would be going on.
Or in the weeds. Well, I mean,
the weeds are behind the... I'm not going to go anywhere near this state at this point.
There's a practical side here, too. There's only so many state troopers out there, okay? And I want them watching the guy tailgating me on the highway, not the guy following too close in the weeds behind a rest stop.
Good point, Doc. But speaking of tailgating, the point is, there's always one lone gunman in this crowd.
So this is not being done in the actual structure on the public property. It's being done behind, next to. Because I have Cathy and I are members of the Twins Club. We both have boy-girl twins.
Wow.
And yeah, that's something we have in common.
Yeah.
And you know, I have a boy. I got to take my little boy into the ladies' room, and you know, some of these guys might actually go into the ladies' room. That might be part of the fantasy. I don't know.
You know what? That's part of the thing, too. I mean, what bathroom do we go into anymore?
No, I don't think they're going into the ladies' rooms.
Listen, I don't care where they go, as long as they're not any...
Well, where was George Michael?
He was in a bathroom. He was
was.
in the bathroom. Yeah.
I don't know if
men's room or the ladies'
Or the
room?
ladies' room.
Oh, with a men's room. He's not weird.
But the point of this thing is that they want to make a law out of this, or is it against
Well, they're
the law
doing
to
that.
rouse these people?
It's kind of a can't see, don't arrest law.
Well,
They used the
listen.
cops used to sort of look for it because they you know, in their weird kind of straight-laced way, thought people shouldn't be having sex in public.
Well, they shouldn't. I mean, basically, if they're responsible enough to, if they're old enough to go in and to do this and hopefully be responsible enough, why don't they just go get a room? Why must they do it in the weeds or the bathroom?
That's
Go
what
get a
I'm
room.
saying.
Go
Why isn't
to
it
work,
right?
get a job, get a couple of dollars, go do whatever you want to do, but don't do it in
Because
public.
it's going to happen whether you like it or not. It's going to happen whether you like it or not, whether you illegalize it, whether you pass a law against it. It doesn't really matter. Look, I don't know how many of you, as in your younger years, not that all of you are old, but have ever been busted by the cops when you're making out with a girl in your car. It's happened a few times to me. And it is invasive, and it's embarrassing, and it is an infringement on our rights. I mean, look,
There's a big difference between making out with somebody in a car
Absolutely.
and having sex with somebody in a bathroom.
where do you draw
A
the line?
public bathroom
Well,
in a designated area.
If we have a right to have sex and make out, I'm being deprived of my rights. When did this become a right?
No, but if you're
Exactly.
right.
When did everything become a right? What do you mean, right? Your right to screw in your car? That's a right?
You should
Yeah,
have
that's
the
what
right to
George
screw in your
Washington
car.
and the founders had
Yeah.
in mind.
One of the lost
That's why we
amendments.
started this country, so people would have that.
This is why we vote?
Well, what?
I don't know. I don't know. If it's going to become a law, don't you have to whole entire channel of everything? Aren't there more important things?
Yes, but I understand why. I mean, first of all, why I'm always sticking up for the family these days. But I just feel like if you're a family and you're at a rest stop, you shouldn't have to worry that if you want to stretch your legs with your kids,
You should, but if you're an adult and you want to have sex in your car for some, you know, my husband and I have a thing with logistics where it kind of gets us, you know, a little more. It does. It's exciting. Different places, and that's part. Well, hey, you know.
All right, and she has the right to do that.
Well, if
You know what? That you have the right to do it. If I want to leave your car in your driveway,
absolutely. And if I want to get on, if I want to get on in the Yukon, I can. You know, that's my right.
Where?
You can't in the Yukon.
Well, if they're going to do this, then let's repeal these laws against darkly tinted windows, too.
Look, I agree with Bill. Designated areas are for family. You want to be able to be safe to get out of your car and do whatever you want to do.
The fact that this is an offensive act
I
to
think it's
people.
the public. It's
Is that
public
selfishness parades as rights?
Why is it selfish to be able
Because
to
you're not-
show affection to
because
somebody
you
in
know
a
what?
public
If you're
place?
going to do
Because
something
it's
like
a
that,
public
be
place.
responsible. It's a public place.
The world is a public place.
Okay. Listen, this is why it's America, and if you don't like doing it that way, you have the right. You can move wherever you
But look,
wherever you want.
there are 100 other things far more offensive
I agree.
and far more ugly and perverse that your family and your children will be exposed to on every single day that they enter out into the world.
You're
I don't know how many times my
People have
son
an issue
is
with
gonna walk
it
into
because
it.
it is gay sex.
How many
And
times
therefore
has
the
my-
cops look for an excuse to go and
Yeah,
beat
but you
down
know
the
what,
doors
gay
of
or
a
not
gay
gay,
couple
any
who
kind
happen to
of
be
sex,
engaged
Gay
in
or
it.
not, I'm not trying to bring my 3-year-old into a rest stop and say, honey, I'm trying to teach him to pee in the potty, and the guy next door's got a little, you know, got a little menage something going
Well,
on.
if it's in public view, it's still illegal. Now, in these rest stops, they have designated dog walking areas.
Maybe we should have
we'll have your
designated
designated sex area
Yeah,
then, too.
fine.
Yeah,
I'm all for that.
you know what?
Absolutely.
We have designated sex areas. It's called your home. We
your
have to take a
bedroom.
break. We'll be right back. Well, Dick Cheney's back at work, and the administration really trying to put forward the idea that he did not have a heart attack this week. He just underwent a balloon angioplasty, which caused some tension back at the White House, because when George Bush heard that Cheney got a balloon, he wanted one too. President Bush met today with the South Korean President Kim Dae-jung, a very historic meeting because this was a summit, after all, between the leader of a country that is bitterly, bitterly divided and the Korean guy. Okay, we were talking about rights and where they begin and end. There's a big story in the paper this week about positioning devices. I had no idea about this, but technology has now made available devices that can track someone 24 hours a day. They can put them in cars. They can put them in cell phones. They can even put it under your skin. I hope that's with someone's permission. And there's some good with this. You could track a 911 emergency call, find out where it's coming from. If you're, they said they could use it on Alzheimer's patients. I'm not kidding. If your pet runs away, as my dog did, Odie, you bad dog. Well, I got him back, but you know, he watches. He's a fan. And not just because I feed him, a true fan. Anyway, but mostly these things are now being used by businesses to track employees. And, you know, I don't know where to come down on this, but the article talked about this guy. He's got 6 trucks. He's got a small business, 6 trucks, and he had put the tracks in the trucks. And one guy spent the afternoon at a strip club. And he could tell, because he could see...
Is it the same person?
Yeah. You know, I don't know if I had a business... I don't know if I would be for this, because I would want to know. It's my truck, my money, and the guy's at a strip club.
As long as he's getting the work done, as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Obviously, he's not getting work done.
He's getting a different kind of work done.
He's getting something done.
Maybe he finished early, and he stopped by, you know, the gentleman's lounge.
If he finished early, let him take the truck. You know, let him...
Bring it back.
This truck presumably has the business name on the side of it, right? Does this business owner want, you know, his Acme plumbing truck parked outside of a strip joint?
Very good point.
Well, no, he doesn't. And if his day is done, he's done his work. Go back to work, get his private car, and go back to the
plumbing work done too. Okay. I don't think there's anything offensive about that.
If they're an employee of mine and they're on the clock, I own 3 businesses, and look, if you're an employee of mine, and guess what, you're at a strip club, you're out.
But
you're gone, you're fired.
But what about the 1984 angle of this, that you have this tracking device on people?
I think it's completely over the top and ridiculous, and that if you have time to put a tracking device on employees, then obviously you need new management. Because the people aren't doing their job to begin with.
Employees are always goofing off.
Yeah, you know, what if one of your pizza delivery guys, and I love your pizza, by the way.
Thank you.
But what if one of your pizza delivery guys took off, and he did deliver all he was supposed to do, and he took off and, you know, dropped by his girlfriend's house, and
This is why they call me Hitler's mother, because I would fire him. They're just mean to me. They tell me, because I run it like this, and that's the way it is. You don't want to do your job, get out. Go somewhere else. Work for somebody else.
They're not tracking the employee necessarily as much as they're tracking their property, the truck. What if the truck gets stolen there? You find your GPS, locate the truck, go get it back.
I
wouldn't want a sensor in my head, but in the truck, that's fine.
Yeah, but this might work well if you have a teenage daughter or
For
son.
children now.
That's another
For
story.
children, on the other hand, and my dogs, who I love.
Yeah, my dogs too.
Sophia has a tendency to be everywhere else except in our backyard.
You'd put a chip in your kid's ass?
No.
You've got to be kidding.
No, but
you'd track your child?
I would.
Sure.
Wow.
What if they got kidnapped?
But
What if your dog got
tracking a
kidnapped?
vehicle as opposed to tracking a human being are 2 completely different things.
Now, on the cell phone,
you need it.
Here's a great money-making idea. Portable antennas, GPS. Some guy shows up to date your daughter. You slam that antenna on the top of his car and watch everywhere they go. They go into the no-tell motel. When he gets home, you have a long talk with him while you're wearing a ski mask and camouflage.
Listen, wherever it's going, obviously, it's an invasion of privacy. That's number one.
It's clearly
an
there are
invasion
some
of privacy.
advantages. There are some advantages.
But also, if you have an employee that's smart enough, they just know how to de-rig all these things anyway.
No, if they don't know that it exists.
Oh, well.
If you place it on the vehicles and
Take
you know that the
tinfoil
guy
over it,
is,
it's gone.
having his little...
If it goes into cell phones, you just give the cell phone to somebody else who you don't like.
So your employees call you Hitler's mother?
My employees have called me Hitler's mother, and it's okay.
That's not a term of affection.
No, it's not. It's not, but they like
I know
me.
someone who goes to a rest stop. Anyway, we have to take a break.
Join us tomorrow when our guest will be Oscar-nominated songwriter Randy Newman. From Get Over It, Swoozie Kurtz, former Secretary of Labor Robert Reich, and Republican strategist Kim Seraphin.
In a major reversal, China has changed its official policy saying homosexuality is not abnormal. This apparently in light of the new hit film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Drag Queen. Okay, we were talking tonight about rights. Who has them? Of course, the last people in America who have absolutely no rights are smokers.
Oh, dear.
Right, talk about Hitler's mothers. Now, in Maine, listen to this, they want to put a 5-cent deposit on cigarette butts, like we have with cans and bottles, so that a pack would cost $1 more, and then anyone who picked up the cigarette butt, 5 cents, because, you know, like every other state, they banned smoking everywhere. Shut up. And so now there's, you know, because you can't smoke inside, everybody goes outside to smoke, and then they throw their cigarette butts down because it's hard to put something lit in your pocket.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Wonderful.
I really do, because, I mean, I'm not a smoker, and I understand that smokers might be a little pissed off because they have to pay more for cigarettes, whatever. But I really do feel that that's a nasty pollution that we have, cigarette butts.
Pollution?
Yeah, but they're not passing the law in any real way to combat that. They're doing it as an additional means of making money for the government.
Yeah, but
because nobody is going to actually take the time to pick up this. Look, if you're a smoker, the only people that are going to take the time.
Homeless people picking out the
The homeless people are the ones who are going to be making any kind of money.
Pick them up and smoke them.
We're going to be hitting urban outdoorsmen on the side of the street while they're picking up these cigarettes. You can get many more cigarette butts in a Glad bag than you can cans in a garbage bag. And we're going to be wiping them out as they're trying to make a living with cigarettes.
Being an ex-smoker, now that I have my babies, I don't smoke anymore. And I just think that this is just, I don't think the people in Maine especially, I've been there, it is a beautiful place. It's very clean. There are decent people there. I don't think that they live to litter there. I really don't think so.
No, but people do. People throw cigarette butts.
You're right. You're right.
Would you want to be the person counting the butts individually?
They'll get machines.
These soiled, nasty cigarette butts?
And when the homeless pick them up and smoke the rest of them, is there like a limit of how long they have to be before you can return them?
Make no mistake, this is a make-work program for the homeless. That's what it will essentially
There
be.
is enough taxes and surcharges on tobacco as it is. Where the money is going to in this government, I have no idea, but it is there to begin with. And I just think that maybe they should give, like the boys in blue, a little thing where if they see somebody littering, give them a fine, do something in the media, and that maybe might stop people.
Why can't they make biodegradable cigarette butts?
Well, first of all, you're a leper nowadays if you smoke anyway. I mean,
You're a
I
leper.
remember going to Singapore and seeing how, you know, they have these laws against anything, littering, bubble gum, anything.
Right.
And I remember seeing how clean, and there's a lot of smokers there,
Right.
but how clean it was.
Clean.
If you drop a cigarette butt there, I mean, you get like 40 lashes. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm all for incentives to clean stuff up, because I hate pollution. I think it's so ugly. And
Well, if you hate pollution, is this really the place to start with your hate of pollution?
No, I can start other places, Bill, but I mean, you know, cigarette butts are nasty. They come out of your mouth. They're disgusting. People just throw them like that. They don't even think about that.
There's so many people in the world who
People think that
enjoy
they're
a good
wonderful.
cigarette.
No, I'm not talking about cigarettes are nasty. I mean,
butts?
cigarette butts are nasty as if they're in my face and I'm seeing them.
It's unacceptable anymore anyway.
Nasty.
So instead, you decide to charge the consumer $1 extra per pack and inconvenience them, even if they are not one of these individuals who throws their butts all over the place. Even if they're conscientious enough to put their butts out in an ashtray and they empty out in a safe and clean manner so that it doesn't affect anyone. So you're going to punish them as well by just charging an additional $1 per
The
pack for
politicians
every
need to
pack.
be honest. This is not a deposit program. It is a tax. They know
Absolutely.
people aren't going to turn these things back in. They're just after the extra buck of
It's another tax and another surcharge to go along with
And it's also the hypocrisy that the government is somehow against smoking, which they are not. They live off the money
Look at the
from
money that they
tobacco
make from
companies,
tobacco.
but they want to pretend they're against it.
If they're against it,
Social
let them stop
engineering.
subsidizing it.
Of course, if ketchup had 1/20th of the carcinogens of a cigarette, they would rip it off the shelf tomorrow. But ketchup didn't make its bribe to the government. It doesn't give the kind of campaign contributions that the tobacco industry does.
Right?
Gotta take another break. We'll be right back.
Clock out. Is this something that I could do?
Just mentioning the show we just did with about mad cow disease, and we're going to talk about it later this week and next week. It's the meetup. What do you think's worse for you, eating meat or smoking cigarettes? What do you think will kill you faster?
Smoking cigarettes.
Absolutely, smoking cigarettes.
Statistically, you are all wrong.
Yeah.
Really?
That's not the first time.
Yeah, that's okay.
That won't be the last.
But you know, Oh, absolutely. I mean, most smokers live. I wouldn't suggest doing it. It's a dumb thing to do. But that's just the statistics. You can't. Okay, anyway, tomorrow we have Randy Newman, Swoosie Kurtz, Robert Reich, and Kim Seraphin.